Hey, I'm Mark, and this is my wife Marla, and
Hello.
today we're going to be talking about marriage moods. If you've been married for any amount of time, you know that you experience some different kind of moods.
Mm.
Can I get a witness, honey?
Uh-huh.
All right, so here we go. Part of, and you do good at this. Part
Oh, thank you.
of respect is you got to let your spouse know what you need. I mean, come on,
Yes.
because I mean, none
I'm
of us.
so glad you said that.
None of us have a prophetic ball or a crystal
Right.
ball or ESP or
Even though
kind of
he's a prophet, he don't
some
know.
kind of
I have to tell him.
telepathic gift to figure out what your spouse needs. I remember one time, this is a situation you probably would realize would happen here.
Oh no.
But we went out to eat. I took her out. We were just going out to eat. I was relaxed. I had my baseball cap on, my sweats on. I was going out to get a little grill with my girl. She was looking good and everything. And I was like, man, we're gonna just hang out and I'm gonna just give me a nice little hamburger and some fries and a milkshake. We was at a nice restaurant. And so I got her what she wanted and stuff. And so we're sitting down and she goes, I need to talk to you about something, honey. And I'm like, okay, good. And then so she starts to open up and she says, I gotta tell you something. She goes, I'm not the age I used to be and my needs are changing. And I'm thinking, what the what? I'm like, man, I brought you. I did not come here for the. She's like, my needs are changing, and how you used to do this when we were younger, and this. I need something different, man. I was something like this. You gotta be, as a guy, you gotta have some kind of suave. You can't just be like, going spastic. So I just kind of kept a calm face, and so she was talking. And man, she was blowing my mind. I was like, what in the world is going on here? Are you trying to change the game or something? But I tell you what, after I had a chance to kind of digest that, I really appreciated it because she was telling me, she's growing as a person, she's maturing as a woman, she's getting older, we're changing seasons of life, and she's saying, okay, this is where I'm at. And so I had to, even though she was literally blowing my mind, I had to listen to that because if we're going to move forward and we're not going to have crazy conflict, I've got to hear what she needs so that I'm not creating, a pathway with jagged rocks in there because I'm doing what I think is going to be pleasing to her,
Yeah.
but it's not. And so you gotta talk to keep, to keep the pathway kind of smooth because if you just kind of take stuff and you just stuff it and stuff it, well, he's not doing this, or she's not doing this, or he's not giving me this, or she's not giving me that, and you kind of keep stuffing and stuffing and stuffing and stuffing it, and there's no release, man, then that's when that cracking's going to get out. So I think respect is important. So do yourselves a favor. We'll do ourselves a favor. This is not a one and done.
Right.
Life's not a one and done, man. Life is fluid. Life is always moving. Life is always changing. Like one person, I think it was Heraclitus, that said, you can't, there's no river remains the same. So all rivers are different because streams are flowing, that kind of thing. So you can never throw a rock in the same river twice because the consistency of it changes. So does your marriage, so does your relationship. Things change. So there has to be that ongoing communication to be able to do that.
Yeah. And the way I arrived at even having that deep conversation with you, I remember deciding, should I tell him? And my answer was immediately yes, because for one, we are friends.
Yeah.
You're my pal. You're my buddy.
Oh,
You're my guy, and I trust you. And so, for you singles and those of you who are engaged, don't just go on the feelings of love.
Yeah,
Have
that's
something
good.
that grounds you, like
Right.
respect, trust, love, mutuality. Communication is huge. And so, how could I hide really what I was processing in my heart and trying to learn from? Also, it was all new for me, but I knew to hide that from you would have been a big mistake. And I saw that in others who did hide their true. They weren't vulnerable to their spouse. They felt like
Yeah.
they always
That's a
had
good one.
to.
Vulnerability is good too.
Vulnerability
Yeah.
is huge, and so you have to be honest with one another. And if you can do it without all of the anger, if you can do it when just, hey, I just want to open my heart to you and let you see where I'm at, or let you feel engage in some of where I'm at, whether I get past it or whether I'm, I just need you. I need my friend. I need my husband. And that's where I was coming from, is I've always told the Lord I would always communicate. I would never make you guess as my husband.
I don't have to guess.
You don't have to guess.
Sometimes I wish I could guess. I wish I could get a guess every now and then. It's
Well, because who can read anybody's mind? That's not fair. It's not fair. We have to be open. We have to be vulnerable. We have to be honest and be in communication. Otherwise, what is the relationship? It's unique of all others. So if I can tell my girlfriends, if I can tell,
True.
my special people in my life, my family members that I, trust and confide in, why can't I take it and bring it to my husband? I mean, you should be the first one to know.
I just only thing
Jesus.
Only thing I regret about that night was we were at that fine restaurant.
Well, he wanted-
It was a fine dining restaurant. If I knew I was gonna get a beat down like that, man,
It wasn't a beat
I would have
down.
went to Hamburger Shack.
No, it wasn't a beat down. Don't believe
it
that,
wasn't.
guys. It wasn't a
It wasn't
beat down.
a
It was
beat down.
all about me telling him about how I was feeling. He, just listen, babe.
If I'm honest, it kind of scarred me a little bit about fine restaurants.
whatever.
So when I go to
Whatever.
fine restaurants now, I'm a little traumatized. I'm like, okay.
No, don't believe that. You were just fine.
No, I was fine.
You
fine.
listened, you heard me,
I did.
And I don't know that it demanded a change in you, but I do remember noticing that you would listen better.
Yeah. And
And you didn't try to figure out how to solve me.
Yeah.
You let me be me, but you just heard me out.
Yeah.
Slow down a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I've been able to share that with other younger guys as well too. I just said, hey, you get married, you've been married for a while. I think one thing you got to realize is that your wife's needs will change. And I've had guys come back and tell me, hey, Mark, Pastor, thank you for sharing that with me. That's really been kind of helpful. I think one more thing that's important. Well, actually, two more things I want to hit on this.
Okay.
One is just kindness. Just in terms of kindness.
Yeah.
Being a part of how you fight. You got your issues. You got to talk about your issues. You got to put them on the table. Sometimes they're hard conversations to have. But how do you say kindness kind of plays in the role of it?
Kindness comes from love. If you love someone, it's a natural byproduct of love. So, and then as born again believers in Jesus, his love is in our heart.
Yeah.
So I have always said Marla's love is never adequate in and of itself and all alone. I have to submit myself to Christ, and he does give me, along with wisdom and understanding, a love for you that is greater than my own. And I feel that, I'm sure you can attest, don't you feel
I like all that
a
sugar.
deep love?
I like all that
It
sugar.
isn't just eros,
Yeah.
it's agape along with it. And so I think kindness is peppered in naturally when we are loving.
Yeah.